don't touch the drugs. Stay away from it. You know, it's not worth it. It's not worth what you're going to lose. Unfortunately, as a woman, it's very dangerous to be homeless. I just got my apartment, but I was homeless for so long that I'm not used to sleeping in a bed anymore. You know, it sounds crazy, but
Welcome to Survivors Project X. Here we share a real story of people who faced addiction and ouch life situation. This is not entertainment, this is education and awareness. Please help growing up this channel, subscribe, leave a comment or like. Thank you. Every Wednesday and Saturday new video. If you have any special question for them, please let me know in the comments and I will ask. Can I film in you?
sure.
Okay. What is your name?
I go by JJ.
Gigi?
Yeah.
I'm Mike. Nice to meet you.
You too.
And how old you?
I'm 38.
Okay. You remember when you start to using drugs and what is it? What is your first?
I was 11 years old.
11.
I started with drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana. And then I started using mescaline. From there it was acid, ecstasy. And I got clean for 16 years. I stopped using hard drugs. Then I got high on cocaine and very quickly turned to crack. And then I started using opiates. So now I use opiates and crack.
And where are you living now?
In Ottawa.
Like you homeless or no?
I just got an apartment. I was homeless for 5 years.
Okay. And like be homeless, live in the street, it's danger. What more dangerous situation happened with you in these 5 years?
Unfortunately, as a woman, it's very dangerous to be homeless. It's hard to find a place to sleep because men take advantage of where you are, and they don't want to let you stay with them unless you want to have sex with them. It's very sad that it comes to that, but I decided to sleep outside in a tent because it was easier than going to stay on somebody's couch and having them expect something from me. I found that every friend I thought I had wanted something from me if I stayed with them or stayed on their couch or stayed in their spare room. It was never for free, or it always had these expectations came with it. It was very difficult to trust anyone. There were times that I remember I had to climb out a kitchen window to get out of a guy's house because he had barricaded the door, wasn't going to let me leave. Living in a tent was difficult as well because you have no security or safety. People can come into your tent at any time and take your stuff or hurt you. There was a girl right up the street from me that was murdered, and the security at the homeless shelter were telling me to go and stay up where her tent was. So it was very confusing to me why the security didn't understand that I didn't want to go sleep where a girl had just been murdered. It was much safer for me to stay at the shelter with security guards walking around the premises, but then the shelter wasn't allowing that. The city of Ottawa didn't want tents up next to the shelter, and I always said that it was crazy how if I was an animal, they would have to provide me with shelter, but as a human being, they don't have to provide you with that. They expect you to sleep outside with no shelter. I would put up tarps and tents for myself and others when it was raining out or snowing, and they would come along, and police and security guards would come along and take them down and rip them up or throw them in the garbage. I had 5 tents destroyed by Ottawa police. They would break the poles of the tents and cut the tents apart because they didn't want me putting my tent up in what I considered a safer spot. They would tell me to go put my tent in the woods, basically. But then if they found your tent in the woods, they would do the same thing. So it was like the expectations were basically that I just sleep on the sidewalk with no shelter.
Okay, do you finish school?
I did go get my college. I had my own business actually for 8 years. When COVID started, I was shut down.
And what is it?
Aesthetics,
Okay.
nails and waxing.
You nail artist.
Yep.
Nice.
I was very successful, very good at what I did, and I enjoyed it. I raised 5 children.
You have 5 children.
I have 2, and then I adopted 3 more, all boys.
And when you see last time your children?
It's been 4 years now.
You miss him? Here in Ottawa, your children?
No, in Nova Scotia.
Okay, for last 1 year, how many people who you know in person die?
As far as close friends go, I've lost 13 people to drug overdose. But as far as I know, there's been over 100 that have passed away from drug overdose in this area. People I know closely, there's 13 of them, one after another. My fiance passed away the night after I moved into my apartment of an accidental drug overdose. He was not someone to use fentanyl, but the police suspect that there was fentanyl in the crack. Shortly after that, I lost my sister. You know, it's just one friend after another.
And when you do drugs, you're not afraid to die?
Not anymore. I used to be, but I guess now I don't think about it.
How do you see your life in 1 year?
I'd like to be off the drugs, but to be realistic, I don't know how that's going to happen. When you keep losing people the way that I have been, it's very hard to deal with it without the drugs in your life.
Do you want to send one message to you or to your children?
To my children and any child watching this, I would hope that they don't follow in my footsteps and stay away from the drugs. Talk about your feelings and learn how to cope without drugs in your life. But don't judge people that are addicted to drugs, because we are all human beings, and at the end of the day, you know, everybody is susceptible or could fall into that trap. I used to judge people that are where I am now. I thought it was horrible for them to be using those drugs, and here I am. So, you know, you can't judge people in lifestyles until you've lived in their shoes.
What happened with your legs?
Because of the opiates, I fall asleep standing up, and they got swollen from not laying down in bed properly. They swelled up to a point that they broke open. I have a big hole here and another hole here. It was very painful. I was stuck laying in bed for about a month. I couldn't walk at all. I'm just up walking again now for the past month. But the sores on my legs are taking forever to heal.
What things make you happy? Really happy?
Thinking about my kids. My dogs.
And you remember last one time when you feel happy?
When I was truly happy, it was before I started using. Before I started to use the cocaine, when I still had my kids. So 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
You happy now?
No. You can put a smile on, but you're not happy in this lifestyle. Nobody is. And if you say you are, you're lying to yourself. You can't live outdoors and watch people die day after day and be happy. It's not possible. You put a smile on your face and you try to pretend it's not happening. Try to forget it, but at the end of the day, you're not happy. The second you stop and think about life and think about what you're doing, you're not happy. Nobody could be in this lifestyle.
Okay, can you please share your message to younger generation who only start to using something and think it's cool?
Don't touch drugs. Stay away from it. It's not worth it. It's not worth what you're going to lose. Stay away from people that are using drugs because it will just make you want to use. If you're already using things like marijuana, recreational drugs, stay away from them because it's, whether you believe it or not, you are going to end up using harder drugs eventually. Everybody does. You tell yourself it's not going to happen, but it will happen. Stay away from all of it. Alcohol is probably one of the worst drugs out there. People don't see it as a drug, but it is. It's the worst one out there. People drink alcohol and then they think it's okay to use other drugs.
Okay, if you want to say something more, you can say. If no, we finish.
I think that people need to be more aware, more educated about what can happen to you if you use these drugs. Too many kids are sheltered from what can actually happen to them, so they think it's okay to try them. We need to teach kids in our younger generations what can actually happen to them if they use these drugs and what's going to happen to them. Not what can happen, what will happen. Like it or not, you're going to end up homeless, living like me. I just got my apartment, but I was homeless for so long that I'm not used to sleeping in a bed anymore. It sounds crazy, but normal things or things we take for granted aren't normal for me anymore. And you end up in situations where you can almost lose your legs.
It's complicated to show what happened with leg?
Yeah.
Okay. You can't show?
No.
Okay.
No, I can't get, it's bandages, a lot of bandages.
It's from needles?
No, it was from not sleeping. I fall asleep standing up.
Okay.
And then my legs get swollen. There's pressure from the swollen legs. They get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then I can't walk on them. I actually had to cut this one open myself. But this one broke open, and the wound is this big. It's not pretty. Not pretty though. If I'm not careful, I could lose my leg. A friend of mine lost his leg about 2 months ago.
Okay, thank you for your time. Be safe.
Thank you. Good girl.
If you are going to try something, depression, addiction, or suicide thoughts, you are not alone. Here are people who care, who want to listen and help. Please go to support groups are in the screen. You do
I do needles. So do you edit it or you have other people edit it? Okay, I'm right there.